Tom Gobin was born in 1925 in Anacortes, Washington, to Joe and Ruth Gobin. Tom was the oldest in his family and was constantly the babysitter to his younger brother and sisters. Tom grew up on the Tulalip Reservation and attended the first grade at Tulalip Indian School for 1 year before it finally closed in 1932. Tom continued his education in the Marysville School District, participating in band, boxing, and baseball. He left school just shy of graduating from high school. As a youngster, Tom valued the time he spent with his grandmother, Nancy Jones. He remembers always hanging out with the elders.
Grandma was amazing, I tell you. She always had money hid in her underclothes someplace down here, or pinned to her underskirt or inside of her skirt. And I know I got my share of it. She'd always have money to go buy shells for shotgun shells so I could go duck hunting or something.
His family grew up poor, but Tom recalls his graduation from 8th grade, where his mother was able to purchase new clothing for him for the ceremony.
I don't remember getting much new. I remember when I graduated they used to have a graduation from the 8th grade. And
was this in Marysville?
Yeah. And they had a regular ceremony like you do after high school, and we dressed up for it and all that. And Mom somehow scraped up money and got me a whole outfit. And I got named the best dressed kid.
Oh yeah.
Really. That was pretty neat.
Life on the reservation for Tom was hard. Not having much, Tom started working at an early age while he hung out with the older Francis Lewis.
I started working with him when I was about 12 years old. I was pretty muscular and strong for my age. And Crutch, of course, was handicapped. He was a strong man, but he had the one short leg. So he and I went cutting shingle bolts was the big thing in those days. And it was leftover timber from the big logging days. And most of it was left because it was down in a swamp or a creek bed or something. And they were waterlogged and soaked. And we got to where we had a hard time. I wasn't quite big enough you had to muscle them. We used horses and whatnot to get them out. So Crutch, had a head on his shoulders. He went up to a place between Arlington and Marysville, the Davis Shingle Company, and got some information. And we started the shakeboard business around here. We were the first ones, Crutch and I. And then it made it easy. We just little 6-inch board, like 25 inches long or so. And we could pack those out instead of packing those great big shingle bolts.
Just do it right there.
Yeah, and we got that, boy, that swept the reservation.
Yeah.
It literally mined the cedar out of cut down the stumps and everything. It was left of the old growth cedars.
Near his graduation from high school, the pull of patriotism consumed Tom as it did most of his peers. He and many others quit high school just before graduation and entered into the military to take part in World War II. He served in the Army Air Force, as it was called back then. He was a radio operator gunner. In all, Tom flew 20 missions over Germany while stationed in Italy until the war ended and he returned home. Throughout his life, Tom enjoyed work. Lumber mills, fishing, police work. Tom also worked for the Tulalip tribes. He was elected to the board in 1948, but soon after resigned to replace Bernice Alexander as the tribal clerk, and he was involved in the early businesses of the tribe. Tom recounts that he wrote many of the land leases the tribe contracted.
I had taken a job earlier with the tribe as what did they call me? Tribal clerk. what it amounted to was doing everything they're doing down there now. In addition to that, I was a recording secretary for the board of directors, and I was a receptionist for the BIA office, and managed the court system. Had tribal police in those days, and we had a water system that was in existence, and we were developing those leased properties down there. I wrote most of the original leases down there.
In the mid-1950s, Tom's life started to change. He had moved off the reservation and was working in Arlington. The lumber mill he worked for was in financial trouble. Tom was recruited by the Stanwood Police Department, and he decided to take a new job in law enforcement. Tom was hired as a Stanwood police officer and found out he was pretty good at being an officer. He was on the Stanwood police force for 3 years and was then hired by the Arlington Police Department as their new chief of police. Tom served 11 years before retiring due to a medical condition. Tom did not stay retired long though. He worked part-time as a security guard at Bingo, as a fisheries officer, and then was asked by the tribe to become its new director of the Tribal Gaming Agency for the regulation, the enforcement, and oversight of Class II and Class III gaming on the reservation. Tom held that position for 3 years. Throughout Tom's life, music was a passion. Learning to play guitar with his father to playing in the band in high school, Tom turned music into a semi-professional side job throughout his life with the Tom Gobin Band. Tom was also a lifelong member of the Church of God, serving his community, periodically giving sermons, officiating marriages and burials, and playing music. Tom led his whole life serving the Tulalip tribes. He led it admirably and honestly with the best of intentions for all tribal members. A husband, a father, a grandfather, and a great-grandfather, Tom passed in December of 2008 after complications from surgery, but his legacy continues on. The Tulalip History Project fondly remembers Tom Gobin.